Welcome to the KISALAYA Miracle. I'm J. David Ford, the founder and executive director of New Hope Children's Foundation, and it will be my privilege to share this DVD with you. Are you ready now for the adventure of a lifetime? This is it, in the remote rainforest of Nicaragua. Whoops, hang on. We've got to cross this river to get to the village of KISALAYA and Rancho Nueva Esperanza, or New Hope Ranch, as it's known in English. If everyone will please keep your feet out of the water. Since it's not so high today, we rented a truck to help you get across. Sometimes it gets so deep that we have to take our tractor, but not today. We'll make it if you just hang on tight. That's it. That wasn't so bad, was it? Now we're going to go up this little hill and just a couple of miles and we'll be there. This whole trip is really only 5 miles from the village we fly into, the village of Waspam. Yes, it's also amazing. Our New Hope teams have been working with Mosquito Indians here in the rainforest area since 2004. The Mosquito Indian village of KISALAYA has given New Hope 170 acres of prime land to develop a ministry headquarters here to help us reach the Mosquito Indians with the good news of Jesus Christ. What a gift this land is. We believe this is unprecedented in the whole nation of Nicaragua. Ministries do have to purchase land here, and it's quite expensive. I know of one ministry that gave $500,000 for just a few acres. You say, Brother Ford, but this land is in the middle of nowhere. Oh, the owner of 20 acres that joins our property has already offered his property to us for the low sum of $150,000. That's nice. But I believe you'll agree with me, it's much nicer not to have to pay anything. As far as we know, this is the first time this has ever happened. God is so faithful, and we are so grateful. I'll let you in on a secret. New Hope doesn't have 50,000 or even 10,000. We have begun this project by faith. It's a real challenge each week just to come up with $800 that's needed to pay the 15 Mosquito Indian workers who are working on this project. On Friday, August the 19th, 2011, I met with our first Mosquito Indian crew to get started on our project. One thing I learned very quickly, the Mosquito Indians from the village of KISALAYA are hard workers. And it wasn't long until we had the ground cleared, and holes were soon being dug for the footing. It all happened so fast. As the days went by, with the dawning of each new day, we were making great strides. Both Ken and Jerry were putting together a crew that understood how to complete a foundation. This will also come in very valuable in the future for their other building projects we feel the Lord has for New Hope Ranch. Ken and Jerry were there by their sides, helping, instructing, and examining the progress of the building. While all this was happening, we're sorry to report Sister Iona fell and broke her arm. But even this didn't stop Sister Iona. With God's help, she kept right on going. We were also blessed to have Mike Jones come and pick up the torch and help us work on the project for several weeks. As the building was going up, we were blessed to have a visit from Pastor Charles Bennett from Hopewell, Virginia. He was so impressed with everything, he asked if he could share what is happening at KISALAYA. So here is Pastor Bennett's report.
We're in the village of KISALAYA, which is only about a few miles, 5 miles or so from Waspam. Waspam has an airport, and the airport makes this very accessible, this area. And people here of KISALAYA never built a log cabin before. God sent a forestry man from the United States of America to show them how to start a log cabin. And Judge here, come here, Judge. Judge here is the actual judge of the village. He's one of the elders. They rule the village this way. He and his team of men with Husqvarna chainsaws have made this wall so incredibly flat. It just staggers the mind how they've been able to do this with just their little technology the way they have. I am so amazed at what they've been able to accomplish. Look here, where they take and they split the log here because they have to hand carry these logs. 10 men, eight or 10 men have to carry these massive logs, put them in place. they actually flatten the logs and make it on a slight slant so that the walls sort of go up a little bit of a slant, barely a slant, so that when they put the roof on, it will never kick out. This project is so reasonable, it's unbelievable. Only $7 per log, per tree, they have to give the local village. The local village said, we want all our people working. The average income here for a working person is only $1 a day. That's a working person. Can you imagine this project? Every week we hire 10, 15 new guys, and we keep 4 that have been working before, so we don't have total strangers to the project. And these guys take Husqvarna chainsaws and they make boards like this. This was made from a Husqvarna chainsaw. Doesn't that look like a massive 2x4? And they trim it so perfectly. Okay, they trim this wood. They make this wood out of these logs with Husqvarna chainsaws. Unbelievable. And behind us, you'll see. Come over here, Judge. Over here, we'll see a half acre of logs that they brought out from the woods. And then here's what they're doing here. They're taking this chainsaw and they mark a line and they mark it so perfectly straight. Then they take and they cut this all the way down to trim off the edge so it makes it totally doing a line now. Let me show you how they do it. Who's that? Oh, they're making the line here with the string. So they take this string and they must put. It looks like they put some sort of. It's not chalk, folks. It's like charcoal. And then they hold it here. They pop this line. Then these guys are able to saw this thing so perfectly straight. It's just unbelievable. We have like 3 of these massive Husqvarna chainsaws. In the United States, these would cost you probably $600 or $700. Over here, it's over $1,000. These guys are making $7 a day is all they make, using their chainsaw and using their skill. And they're thrilled to have this work. The whole village is going to work. Getting ready to slide a log in, and they're getting ready to do it. These guys, we told them how to coat this wood with this paintbrush so that they would coat it with this formula that makes it so that termites won't eat this wood. This young man here, come here. This young man here is going to coat this. He's going to coat this just so that termites won't come into the areas that they just cut. They just sawed this off to make an adjustment, and so they had to recoat it. And now they're going to slide it into place. Okay, guys, slide it in. Quite a process. 1 minute. There we go, sledgehammer here. 200 people are on a waiting list. Look at that thing sliding into place. Perfect. Gonna jump in there and gonna hit it with a sledgehammer. They line these logs up perfectly. The village elders came to David Ford and they said, David, we want all of our people to be blessed, not just a crew of 15. So they said, we would like for you to rotate the workers. Judge here and certain of the village elders will be here on every part of the project. Now, this is so rare. He is the actual judge of this village, and yet he is here as a work foreman for this project. What better foreman could you have than the judge of the village? The village elders, they trade off being judges from different times. They sort of are elected. But the most incredible part of this whole project is the people of KISALAYA. They're so much different. These are Mosquito Indians. They're different from Managua. They're different from other parts of Nicaragua. They want to work. They are working aggressively, whether we're here or whether we're not here. Production is massively going on. They don't wait for us, whether rain or shine. they're here working. These people have a heart to work. This rebar is going to go down all the way through this board to this board, locking this one in. Then the one underneath it is locked in. These boards are locked in by rebar. Unbelievable. Instead of nails, we're using rebar. Problem is, we need some more tools. We need finances to be able to bring some tools up here. We don't have the right bits to drill these holes. They're drilling them anyway. They're drilling them basically by hand because the bit they have won't work in our electric drill so much. And but anyway, listen, with all the problems with building in the bush, what a fantastic thing is happening out here. And this has all been accomplished just in the matter of weeks, just a few weeks so far, and a couple of weeks. How many weeks has it been, David? 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
A little over three and a half.
A little over 3 weeks. They have logged, they have brought, God bless David Ford with a tractor to be able to pull the logs out. They have built a foundation, about $3,000 for the foundation. It's got rebar in it. It's massively built against earthquake protection. Listen, this is a project worthy of your support. It gives us a foothold to the river where very few missionaries ever go out to adventure this far out from civilization to be able to reach people that cannot even speak the Spanish language. This is the Mosquito Indians, and you can be a part of it. Because of the faithfulness of David Ford and his family to take orphans over the last 5 or 6 years from this area and help this area, this village especially, they have been donated this land if we will develop it for the glory of God. You can be a part of developing this land for the glory of God. God is going to use this 150 or 170 acres to do massive evangelism in this area, bringing in pastors to have seminars up and down this tremendous river, and also taking care of orphans and having agricultural and livestock projects on this 170 acres of land. This is a fantastic project. You need to be a part of it.
Thanks, Pastor Bennett, for sharing with us your perspective on what God is accomplishing here at KISALAYA. This is a very unique property for the mission field. God has blessed us with this property to use for His glory. If you were to walk around the outside perimeter of New Hope Ranch, you would have to walk over 2 miles. That's quite a walk. The trees have been cut. The stumps have been pulled out. It's ready now to dig foundations and build buildings. It's ready to grow some great crops, and that's part of our vision. We are looking forward to when we can begin our agricultural program here. Instead of just giving the Mosquito Indians a handout, we plan on teaching them how to be self-sufficient. We'll bring the seed and the chickens and the know-how, and they'll do the work right here on this land. We plan to do this with gardening and also by providing farm animals for them to raise. There is a real need for a Bible school here to train pastors up and down the Rio Coca River. I plan on starting an extension of More Than Conqueror's School of Theology, a school I'm president of back in the U.S. We've already initiated a feeding program in 6 churches in KISALAYA. At each feeding, around 700 of the village children are fed and hear the gospel story of Jesus Christ. We appreciate Jim Trimble, who manages over 60 of New Hope's feeding centers in needy villages in various parts of Nicaragua. Every week, thousands of children are fed a meal and hear about Christ's love through these feeding centers. For only $10,000, we can establish a Christian radio station that can blast the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the rainforest to reach the Mosquito Indians who live in Nicaragua, as well as on the other side of the river in the nation of Honduras. The building you've seen going up in this DVD is the girls' home. The Lord willing, we will follow it with a boys' home. We should be able to build each structure like this for less than $9 a square foot. That's $24,000 for 2,800 square foot. It's actually taken us about $10,000 to reach this point. We are still trusting the Lord for the $14,000 we will soon need. For a gift of love of only $2,000, you can provide a bed and a place for one child to call home. We are going to put a plaque by her or his bed that will say something to the effect, "The John Doe family or First Church loves you and is praying for you. What an opportunity to make the difference in the life of a child who has never ever before even slept in a bed or had one good meal to eat. Imagine going with us up or down river in a boat and you being the one who's helping us to rescue that precious little girl and then taking her back to the children's home with us and providing that child with her first good meal and her first drink of clean drinking water and then helping us to tuck her in for the first night with us. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Who ever heard of it? Only $2,000 can change a child's life forever. What is a little soul worth? More than the whole world, isn't it? No, most missionaries have never had the opportunity to become involved in the changing of an entire people group. That's what's in play here. 121 Mosquito Indian villages that we are targeting one by one to go to and share our Savior's love with them. 71,000 Mosquito Indians make up this people group. Yes, it's a large vision, but not so large that it's not doable. But one thing is for sure, New Hope cannot do it by ourselves. If you are a Bible-believing pastor, this is your invitation to network with us in this unprecedented opportunity. If you are a follower of Christ who desires to make your life count for the Master, this is your call to invest your life instead of spending it. Already, the First Church in the U.S. is making plans to build a facility here for their congregational members to come to and stay in when they come here to work with New Hope. We're expecting believers to soon start building homes at New Hope Ranch so they can become a part of this phenomenal opportunity. I remember when we first started coming here, there was no telephones or television. Now there's a cell signal so we can keep in touch with friends and families in the U.S. while we are here. There is a local hotel that's available for Americans to stay in that actually has Wi-Fi internet. No bugs, it's very clean, it's reasonably priced, and it has a restaurant where we can safely eat everything they prepare. An airplane lands and takes off 6 days a week from the Waspam Airport. Yes, God has opened the door wide before us. The question is, are we willing to do what is necessary to walk through it and make the KISALAYA miracle a reality?
Yang palisa sakri kisa, yang sol kibawal para yoko kisa, ay briao yalilam niba. Yang sol kibawal para yoko kisa. Atas balawan distara. Kisah sakra kumpain kira